Oh man, so after a brief rally which gave us the idea that maybe Bitcoin was going to bounce from 43 and head higher, we are now seeing some of the gains from earlier today now be wiped off. We're now seeing Bitcoin just up 0.6%. We're seeing Phantom up 0.6%, but worryingly, is the dead cat bounce scenario starting to play out, which I warned of about 6 hours ago in my Bitcoin video, guys. If you haven't watched that, make sure you go watch that video. But in this video, I'm going to share with you what's happening in the Phantom chart. What levels could we reach? Are there further lower levels we need to worry about? And what am I doing with my position? Am I buying the dip? Am I loading up some more? Where have I placed my limit orders if I have any? And much more. So make sure you hit up the like button. Don't forget to subscribe. If you appreciate my perspective and you want to learn some more, consider joining my membership courses. Yes, you can become a course member, which gives you access to 3 times weekly live streams. Yeah, we got another one straight after I record this video with just our course members talking about the markets, my perspective on the markets, what I'm doing in the markets. Plus, you can ask me questions on any other coin. We could do TA on any of your favorite coins, portfolio critiques, and a whole lot more. Consider checking that out. But for now, here on the hourly on Phantom, we can see we were creating the exact same pattern as we saw on Bitcoin. When Bitcoin managed to create some support at the 43,000 level, Phantom created some support at 128. But as Bitcoin rotated, let's just flick over to Bitcoin. You can see the exact same pattern. Create some support from 43. Then it started getting rejected from just 43,900. And now you can see us retracing half of the gains from today. And Phantom is doing the exact same. But worryingly now, you can see this downtrend continues, right? Lower highs all the way down here, lower lows all the way down here. Now, will we go and post another low? Will we see this happen, creating another low, another lower high, and will we continue to trend to the downside? Do not forget, guys, we are forming this, well, not forming, we are playing out the scenario of this bearish continuation pattern. I mentioned it as soon as we entered this channel here. A lot of people were saying, no chance, stop spreading FUD, but that's exactly what has played out. It doesn't mean I'm bearish on Phantom. It doesn't mean I'm selling any of my Phantom. You guys know, I implore you all not to panic sell. If you have high conviction in any of your favorite projects, there is no need to panic sell when you see some red candlesticks like this. It's all part of the game. You need to understand how to find pullbacks like this because so many people were FOMOing in at this point. Do you remember just a couple of days ago when Phantom is running up to $1.68? These green candles after green candles after green candles. So many people are messaging, is it too late to get into Phantom? Is it too late? Well, where has that conviction gone now when we're sitting at $1.31? Are you nibbling? Are you purchasing more? Are you taking the opportunity to buy at cheaper rates? Now, carrying on with this continuation pattern, the measured move, unfortunately, takes us to beyond the 96 cent mark. Now, I'm not saying that's where we're going to go. I think we'll find support much more before then, but just so you know, that is where the technical target is. And you can see we're starting to make our way lower and lower with lower lows and lower highs. So we are trending to the downside, but we're going to need direction from Bitcoin. And right now, we can see Bitcoin is back in the bigger pattern on the 4-hourly chart, as you can see here. So we've fallen out of this top small pattern. This was a descending triangle. Now we're back in our huge ascending triangle. And the problem now is, after initially breaking out of this triangle to the upside, the fact that we're now back in it, if we're unable to pick up support from any of these levels within this wedge, then at that point we have to start discussing whether we're going to break down to the downside. And if so, where is the market going to build some support? Alternatively, if we can build some support before then, even if it's at 41,659, even if, dare I say, it's at 40,000 flat or using the whole wedge, as long as we build some support and go to the top side, that is fine for Bitcoin. And this would just end up being a nice pullback to get your entries in. Looking at the EMA ribbon here on Bitcoin, we can see here we're well below our 4-hourly EMA ribbon. Okay, this is super bearish. We're trying to get some support from our 200 period moving average on the 4-hourly. If we look at the daily chart, however, you can see we're fighting to try hold our EMA ribbon. If we close below 43,000 roughly here, we will close our daily back bearish again. But currently you can see we've had a nice move ever since the FOMC meeting, exactly when we said after the FOMC meeting, nice rally to the upside, a lot of gains to be had, and now we're getting that retracement. If it's a healthy retracement, that could just be a nice pullback before our next move to the upside like so. And that is why we need to see whether this is a good time to enter. So we need the bulls to start coming in now to avoid the close below this EMA ribbon. That's what we're looking out for here on Bitcoin. If we flick over to the Fear and Greed Index, what we see is that the score has fallen to 34. That is natural. When you've seen the Bitcoin fell over the last 24, 36 hours, you're naturally going to see Fear and Greed Index plummet. A lot of fear comes into the market quickly, just as FOMO comes into the market quickly. This is very normal. If we look at the wider economy, you can see the markets are down right now. You've got the US markets down. You've got 0.45 down on the Dow Jones, 0.45 on the S&P, and 0.92. That's 1% on the Nasdaq. Now, we know from the video I made this morning that what weighed on the markets over the last 36 hours was a combination of Brainard from the Fed as well as Marie Daly coming out and being a bit hawkish. We spoke about that. And then the fears around the minutes where they spoke about the balance sheet reductions, the fact that they want to reduce the balance sheet starting from May at about $95 billion per month. Remember, that is the Fed basically hoovering up money from the economy, reducing how easy it is to get access to liquidity, which is the opposite of the printing we've seen throughout the pandemic. Okay, so that is one thing that's weighing on the markets. But to add to fuel today, one of the things which has fueled this dead cat bounce on the hourly chart, which we were looking at, in essence, where we look like we were recovering and then we fell back down again. Let me just show you that so we're all super clear. There we go. So it looked like we were gathering. Let me just get zoomed in. So it looked like we were picking up some support here, and then we just fallen back down again. What has caused that? Well, we got a piece of data today, which I warned about in my previous video, which is the weekly jobless claims, and they fell to 166,000. Okay, that's a decline of 5,000 from a week previously, and it's well below the estimate of 200,000. This means that the labor market is more healthy than we initially thought. A more healthy labor market means the Fed now has ammunition to be more aggressive. So therefore, that can spook markets. If all the numbers come in the favor of Fed, saying, look, the labor market is really strong, CPI is overheating, we've got to be more aggressive with interest rates. That's how the market is going to interpret that, okay? So we're going to wait now for the next piece of data which we're going to get, which will be the CPI reading. I can't remember the exact date we're going to get the CPI reading, but we can look that up. We'll get the CPI reading, and then we'll head into the 4th of May meeting, which currently the market expects and has priced in a double rate hike. Okay, so a double rate hike has been priced in here. You can see 81.6% is ticked up now after refreshing, has priced in that we're going to see a double rate hike. And that's part of the influence of the jobless claims coming in, further making people feel like we're going to see a double rate hike. Now, from my perspective, I think this is a bunch of nothing burger. Okay, for me, we're expecting interest rates to hike. If it hikes by 0.5%, so be it. It's already priced in. We'll just go sideways to slightly down after that day. If we get a 0.25% increase, I'm expecting the market to rally. If we get anything more than 0.5, which I just don't expect, then the market will fall. If we see a balance sheet shrinkage plan, which is very aggressive, the market will fall. And I think that's what's spooking the market right now. But I don't expect that to happen. Jerome Powell's not come all this way telegraphing every single move he's going to make, whether it was the tapering, whether it was lift off with the interest rates, to suddenly then rug pull the whole market. He's not going to do it. It's not in his interest to do that. So for me, this is a great opportunity to be looking for pullbacks in our favorite coins. And for me, for Phantom, if we can start getting back to some of those levels again, if we lose this level currently and start heading to 126 and then 116 again, yet another really good opportunity to nibble. So if you're new to the ecosystem and you're managing to pick up nibbles now, that is a great time to be picking up a project like Phantom. And if we need some further proof around this being such a great project, let's take a look at this. Shout out to Phantom Insider for the graphic. And in essence, remember, one of the biggest things which I always talk about with Phantom is how undervalued it is in terms of its market cap to total value locked. If you haven't seen my deep dive video on that, I'm going to put the video up here. Go watch that. It's a mathematical model. I go through the model. I explain why my thesis is so strong for Phantom being undervalued. But here what we can see is the only difference with this metric is they're using the fully diluted value. Okay, now the fully diluted value takes into consideration what the market cap of a coin would be if all the coins were in circulation. All the ones which were minted were in circulation. So it's a more accurate measure to many degrees. Now, when you look at this, you can see how other projects command huge multiples. Near Protocol trading at 15 times its total value locked. Polkadot, 11.5. Solana, 8.5. 4.2 for Binance, Avalanche at 3, right? You can see all these projects. Ethereum sitting close to 3, Luna close to 3, and then you got Phantom, not even 1.6, right? And this just goes to show how undervalued this is from a fully diluted value perspective to total value locked. Really important that you guys understand this. Do take the time to understand this. This is just another clue of how undervalued the project is. And then we look at other things that are going on. Spooky Swap proposes to collaborate with Terra Money to release new pools. So now you can stake your XBOO to earn Luna, you can stake Luna Phantom to earn Boo, and you can stake UST Phantom to earn Boo as well. If approved, this will be a huge deal for Spooky and the Phantom ecosystem. Absolutely, if this goes through, this would be huge. We know Luna is on absolute fire, Phantom is on fire too. Those two projects together could really hit it off for the users who are seeking yields. Two key DeFi communities who love yield, who are chasing yield, and definitely if they can combine the two, that would be win-win for all the ecosystem on Phantom. Now to wrap things up, let's take a look at some of the other charts. Here, let's take a look at the 4-hourly chart, and let's bring out our EMA ribbon, and you can see we're well below our EMA ribbon here, okay? We go to our daily chart. Again, you can now see after yesterday, we've officially closed bearish. And this is where things get worried in terms of a more extensive move to the downside. Remember, Bitcoin is still hovering. Bitcoin has a chance to bounce off its EMA ribbon, which I showed you. Let's just show you that again. Same chart. Bitcoin can bounce off its daily EMA ribbon and try keep this moving. But Phantom has closed below its EMA ribbon. So we really need Bitcoin to bounce so we can quickly get above our EMA ribbon and snap out of this pattern, because otherwise we could be heading to lower targets here on Phantom. If we head over finally to the weekly, just to wrap things up, you can now see we're in the territory where we are getting rejected from our weekly ribbon. This is something I've been speaking about for a while. We did not want to get rejected from our weekly EMA ribbon on Phantom, but unfortunately, it looks like it's playing out. We've got another 3 days to reverse this. We've got 3 days of this weekly candle to try at least turn it into a weak doji candle, if not turn it into a small green candle of some sort. The key level is going to be over 165. Can we end the week over 165? If we close it below about 134, we're going to flip bearish on our weekly timescale, which is not great. We worked so hard here on the weekly candle, 3 solid weeks to work to the top of our EMA ribbon, only for us to get rejected. That is not ideal here on Phantom. But again, for those committed for the long run, like me, who's not selling a single Phantom token, these are the moments you need to accumulate. I was lucky enough to accumulate some more at $1.03 and $1.04, not because I'm smart, but because I'm able to manage my psychology and understand that pullbacks are the key. I have a conviction in project, and the market is telling me this is red candlestick, red candlestick, red candlestick. I'm able to separate that from my rational decisions to say, hang on a second, this is hugely undervalued. I'm looking at the metrics, I'm looking at the TVL, I'm looking at the projects being built, I'm looking at the adoption. I'm saying this is a no-brainer, and that is how I'm able to manage my psychology to buy on pullbacks. Unfortunately, many new crypto traders, and new crypto traders are born every single day, chase green candles. And we're trying to change that here by educating people to invest in crypto in a sustainable manner. So if you like my perspectives, consider heading over to our course member live streams, ijaz.uk/member. If you appreciate my blend between technicals and fundamentals with daily updates on some of your favorite cryptos, smash up the likes. Don't forget to subscribe. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to link up the video to the modeling I did on Phantom, where I looked at the market cap and the total value locked metric to explain my thesis of why I think Phantom is so undervalued. Thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you in the next one.